It's about goddamn time we broke you out of the self-imposed prison you have been surviving in all of this time. I was speaking to a friend the other day and he said the most genius yet dumbest thing I think I've ever heard, which was, if you start today walking to Edinburgh from London, you're going to get there quicker than if you start next week. And you're actually going to arrive if you just keep going. Like, there is no possible option, providing that you're healthy, etc., that you start walking from London to Edinburgh and you don't arrive in Edinburgh. It's literally impossible. But what you do is you start from London and you get to Manchester and you're like, see, Edinburgh doesn't exist. Edinburgh isn't here. Yes, baby, because you're in Manchester. It's time to break yourself free of these chains from the past. It's done. It's over. So this is what repetition does for you. When you repeat and persist, you are going to get your manifestation so much quicker. When you just decide with conviction, I'm not in Manchester. I'm going to fucking Edinburgh. I am going to Edinburgh. Full stop. That's it. That's all that's happening. When you decide, guess what? You end up in Edinburgh. No matter how long it takes you, no matter what you had to do to get there, no matter what the universe had to do to get you there, you got to Edinburgh. You arrived in Edinburgh. And so just because something happened along the way when you set out manifesting something or someone or repairing something, just because something happens when you've started your routine doesn't mean that your manifestation doesn't exist. Much like just because you're in Manchester doesn't mean that Edinburgh doesn't exist. You're still going to get your manifestation if you just keep going. It's literally impossible for you to not get it. The only thing that's stopping you is when you keep wavering and you keep telling yourself it's not going to happen. You don't even need belief to get your manifestation. Repetition is literally all that you need. And by repeating and persisting, you're going to get it so much faster. There was a time many years ago when I was pretty broke and I was living in a place that ended up having cockroaches shortly after I'd moved in, and it was the most horrendous thing that I'd ever seen. I was like, oh my God, I cannot deal with this. And I completely reacted to the 3D, as you would, being a girl as well. Sorry to like generalize, but I hate spiders. I just can't deal, right? No, just absolutely not. So when I saw this, I reacted to the 3D and was feeling sorry for myself, was crying, was frantic, was like, I can't deal with this, Then the second, third, fourth time that I started seeing that show up in my place that I was living in, I was like, okay, something is happening inside of me for this to be showing up in my reality. Because an abundant, limitless person is not experiencing that reality. So when that started showing up, the bugs, we won't say the real words because when they started showing up, second, third, fourth time, initially I was getting mad at the mirror. I was getting mad at the circumstance, the bugs showing up, the cockroaches. It was their fault that they're showing up. And actually what I needed to do was take that energy, take that power, take it off of that circumstance, because I guarantee you, if I hadn't have reacted how I did the first time, they probably wouldn't have come back the second, third, fourth, however many times they came back, right? But so I gave it that energy, but take the energy off of that circumstance and almost refuse its existence. It cannot survive. And instead of getting mad at the mirror, getting mad at the 3D, I started to get mad at myself and I channeled that energy. This is not happening in my reality. I get what I want and I get it when I want it. And I love living in my brand new dream home. And I just kept repeating and persisting with that affirmation. I love living in my brand new dream home. I'd see the cockroach. I'm crying. I'm looking at it like, I love living in my brand new dream home. This is what it means to ignore your 3D and persist and repeat as if your life depends on it, because you literally don't have another choice. What's your other choice? Are you going to just stick with the old? Because the old has clearly not worked for you. The old has clearly not worked for you. Not believing in yourself, not loving yourself has clearly not worked this far. So what's the other alternative? Tell me. You have no other option, and you have no excuse as well. When you are faced with extreme circumstances, maybe I'm a bit dramatic, which is what I believed it was at the time. And once I decided this is not my reality, I refuse this point blank. I'm not having this in my life. I am not having this in my life. And I repeat and I persist very quickly. I'm talking in the space of weeks, as if by magic, my entire life shifted and I was able to move out of that den of iniquity with no money, with no funds, with no idea where it was coming from. I didn't care. It wasn't up to me. I surrendered it. And another thing that helps if you are going through like those kind of things, you know, when the circumstances are really in your face and you're like, well, I'm just going to persist with an affirmation. Yes, baby girl or guy, you are persisting with an affirmation because it's going to save your life. But you can also say at the end of the day, when you're going to bed, thank you for showing me that this problem is already resolved. And say that multiple times. Fall asleep to that. Thank you for showing me this problem's already resolved. And think about the problem and just know that it's already done. Thank you for showing me this problem's already resolved. I promise you fall asleep saying that, tomorrow someone's going to message you. They know of someone else. And gradually, bit by bit, your bridge has been built. You finally have a way out. You can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. I promise you, repetition is the fastest way to get to your manifestation, because what you're doing is stopping halfway across the bridge. And you're like dangling. I can see it. I can see the end. I can see the desire, but I'm over here. But you keep persisting. You could be over there. So you almost want to get fired the fuck up. Like, it's mine and it's not up for discussion. Like, this is mine and it's not up for discussion. I've drank a lot. I drink too much of this, to be honest. These are amazing, by the way. I would recommend them to everyone. I'm going through about 3 of these a day. Amazing. But this is mine, right? I'm not going around thinking, oh my God, I need to get this bottle. Why don't I have this? I'm not going around thinking it's already mine. It's done. This is how you want to be. It is done. It is done. It is done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Comment down below. It's done. It's done. It's done. Repetition dissolves your disbelief. You want anything fast, you repeat and persist. I promise you, it's going to come quicker than you could imagine. But the key here is to almost get not angry, because you don't want to take that anger into the new reality. But if you do feel that kind of passion, that kind of anger, you can channel it with love and passion to almost ignore whatever's going on, ignore whatever they said, whatever's been happening, and to just focus, dial in, dial down. This is my reality and that's it. Even if you don't believe it, what do? I don't want to say it again. Because you already know what to do. Repetition dissolves your disbelief. So I hope this video helped. You are worthy. You are loved. I love you. Thank you.